What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Austin J, aka AJ, aka whatever you want to say. Welcome back. So it's May, you know, which means graduation is coming up soon for college. At least I believe high school you got until June. So one more month. You're almost there, almost at the finish line. Congrats. If you're graduating college, congrats. I believe college graduations is actually next week. At least it was when I was in college. I graduated on my birthday. My birthday is May 15th. I graduated on my birthday twice. If you don't know, I have a master's degree. I graduated from Buffalo State College with the undergrad, and then I graduated from SUNY Plattsburgh with the master's. Both of those times I graduated on my birthday. So it was a little double gift. So I just want to speak to those not graduating. If you were supposed to graduate this year and you're not, I know that feeling. I was supposed to graduate a year earlier, but I ended up staying an extra year because I took a year off. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. I also want to speak to those that are college freshmen. I want to speak to high school seniors. This is for y'all. Mainly high school seniors and college freshmen. I'll get to the ones who didn't graduate later on. But this is just for you all. If you're a high school senior right now, and you're even a junior, mainly juniors too, because you really start looking at colleges your junior year, I believe. I didn't really start looking until senior year, maybe a little bit after, So this is for those juniors, seniors, and freshmen. Because you can still change your life. You can still change your life in college as a freshman. And it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. I don't want anyone telling you all that your life is over. Not over, but your decision is made up as soon as you make your decision as a freshman. And I just want to tell you that's 100% false. I changed my major twice, maybe three times while I was in college. And it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. 100% fine. So if you're a junior, I'm going to go in order. I'm going to start with the high school juniors. If you're a junior in high school right now, please start looking at colleges. You can even start looking at colleges as a freshman, but I'm not going to go that far back because your trajectory of life can change dramatically as a freshman to a junior. I mean, your life could change from a junior to a senior and senior to college, but your life is a little more sound as a junior when you're looking than it is as a freshman, grade-wise. Colleges look more towards your junior year, senior year kind of, than they do fresh. They don't look at freshman year at all. If they went by freshman year grades, I wouldn't have been in college. That's just how it is. But if you're a junior, please start looking at colleges. I personally would suggest going away from where you grew up if you can afford it. If you could get scholarships, look at there's so many scholarship opportunities in this world. It's crazy. When I was in college, I was trying to get a scholarship while in college. And I was looking up some, and I seen you could get a $50,000 scholarship for writing an essay about a frog. A frog. You can sit there and write an essay about the anatomy of a frog and win $50,000 scholarship. That's crazy. So please, as a junior, even as a senior, but please, as a junior, because you'll have a little more time to prepare mentally, you could get more help from teachers. As a junior, please look at scholarships. Look at colleges. Look at colleges away. I personally would suggest everyone go away from where they live just to get the adulting experience, the college experience, the life experience, the fun experience. If you can afford it and you don't get a scholarship. If you can't afford it, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to go to a local college. Even if it's a big college but it's local, that's perfectly fine. Just participate. It's okay to go to a community college. That's the first thing. That's the most important thing here. It's okay to go to a community college. Please do not let anyone, and I mean anyone, steer you away from going to a community college if that's what you want to do. Don't let anyone force you to go to college. Like, this video is talking about people going to college, but if you do not want to go to college, do not go to college. If you can survive, you don't. And I don't want to say survive. That's a bad choice of words, because you don't have to go to college to survive. I'm saying, if you can find a trade school, if you can find a great job opportunity without needing a degree, if you can just take certifications and not certificates, there's a big difference between a certificate and a certification. If you can get certifications and you don't need to go to college, do that. If you want to go to trade school to become an electrician or whatever trade schools offer, do it. If you want to go to college, do it. If you don't want to go to college and you don't want to do anything, it's your life. But just have a plan B. Even if you go to college, have a plan B, because just because you go to college doesn't mean you're set for life. It doesn't mean anything. It's what you do while you're in college that helps you become set up for life. You know, you can go to college all 4 years and be a nobody, not really be a nobody, but be just another student, graduate, and you're in the same boat as someone who didn't even go to college. Because it's not just about that piece of paper. It's about what you did while you were there. When I was in college, my freshman year, I was at a local college. It was local, but it wasn't local. You know, I still went away, but it was close enough where I can go home. It was about maybe an hour and a half away. And I hated it. I felt like another student because that college, I didn't do research. I just went to college. I just seen they had a football team. I just seen they had a basketball team. And I was like, all right, cool. It was open enrollment. I was like, cool. I'll apply. I'll go there. I don't care. It's college. I don't need to go to no fancy college. A year there, I was like, this is boring. I was speaking to a lot of my friends that went to Buffalo State, the college that I ended up transferring to. And I was speaking to them. They was telling me how much fun it is. They were sending me videos. They was doing this, that, and the third. I was like, I haven't left my dorm in like 3 days because my college doesn't really have a student body. They don't have student organizations. They didn't have a gym for students. We had to get a gym membership. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, it was pretty boring. So I ended up transferring, ended up changing my major. I get to Buff State and I just see this big campus. It's not big, but it's big. If you go to Buff State or you went to Buff State or you're thinking about going to Buff State, I highly recommend it. But it's not a big, giant campus. Whereas if it's like something like Duke, Kentucky, like it's not one of those big, it's not a big campus like a HBCU. It's a big campus, but it's small. You can walk the entire campus in maybe an hour, but you're not going to see the same faces. There's different parts of campus that everybody stays on, and there's different parts of campus that everybody just stays away from. But it's a big campus, but it's a small campus. And that's what I liked, you know. But they had a lot of activities when I went there, and it was far away from home. It was 6 hours away, you know. And I just wish I would have went there when I just got out of high school. So going back to what I was saying, as a junior, please look at those things. Look at those things. Look at what they have. like do more research than I did. Look at what they have, what they offer, why they offer it, how they offer it. A lot of colleges, they have what's called a Connect page. Ours was called Bengal Connect. I know different colleges. It's usually the college mascot connect.com or whatever. So ours was Bengal Connect because our mascot was a Bengal. So Bengal Connect, you don't even need to be a student to like go on to those pages. Some of them you do, majority of them you don't. Go on to those pages as a junior or senior. Even if you're a freshman and you want to transfer to somewhere else. But junior, senior, go to those pages, look at those pages, look at what they offer, look at what you're interested in or what you might be interested in, and just look at those members. I believe not every website will have it. Not every student website will have it, but Bengal Connect, you can see the members. And some of those members will have their social medias in their bio. Go to their Instagram. If it's a public page, most of the time it is. Or go to the student organizations page and see what they post. See how often they post, how active they are on campus, and if it fits what you think it fits, if it fits your ideology, if it fits you, if you think it can mold you into a better you, just look at all of those things. Try to follow the president of the organization. Most of the time, those presidents, I was a president of a student organization, 2 of them. So whenever high school prospects hit me up, I would love it. Like I would follow them back. I would like try to take them under a wing. If they told me they was coming to Buff State, like if they told me, hey, I'm thinking about coming to Buff State and I seen your organization, I want to know more about it. I would follow them back. I would take them under a wing because they came to me. They seen my organization and they said, this may fit my ideology, but I'm not sure yet. So I'm going to do whatever I can to help their decision be easier. Even if they don't join my organization, I'm going to point them in the direction of every other organization on campus just so they can have an easier time. So a lot of presidents that I know when I was in college would do that same exact thing. So if you're a junior, senior, just do those, follow them, hit them up, ask them for advice. 9 times out of 10, if they're not too busy, they're going to be receptive and they're going to try and take you under a wing. And that's the best thing you can do. A lot of times, some of these organizations will often throw scholarship parties for high school people. Like my organization, we tried to raise, we didn't succeed, but we attempted to raise $10,000 for a high school student. It's hard. Like I was president, so I didn't really know the ins and outs of how scholarships worked. Again, I didn't have a scholarship, so I was just trying to do for those that I didn't get, especially at my other school. I didn't get any of those. So I was just trying to do everything I can. And it was hard because our organization, we wasn't funded by the school either. So that's another thing to look at. Look at if they're funded by the school. I don't know how you can tell that from Bengal Connect. I mean, you can hit the president up and ask them. I'm sure they'll tell you. But my organization, we wasn't funded by the school. So everything we were doing was out of pocket. And that's why it was so hard to raise that $10,000. But there's a lot of organizations. A lot of them, the school itself won't publicize. But there's a lot that you'll see. So things to look at, the academics. Like, just look at the academics. See how many people they accept every year, how many people graduate. Even though those numbers kind of don't represent the full picture, it gives you a good idea. Like, retention-wise. Why, like, if the school accepts 1,000... if the school accepts 2 million freshmen, but only 500,000 graduate by the time they reach a senior, that's something to think about. Like, what happened to all these freshmen? You had 2 million freshmen, but only 500,000 freshmen graduated by the time they got to a senior. What happened? Like, what happened to the rest of them? You know what I'm saying? Like, did they transfer? Why did they transfer? Did they fail out? Why did they fail out? Did they, you know, change? Like, just those are just some things to think about. And I don't want to discourage anyone. I want everyone to succeed. And that's why I'm making this video. So it's just something to look at. You have a lot of advisors that don't know what they're talking about, especially high school advisors. High school advisors, they don't really know everything. They're just in that position, but that don't mean they know. You have college advisors. Just because they're an advisor doesn't mean they know. Me personally, I would get the student's body opinion, and not just any student, because you have students who'll just bash the school just because, and you'll have students that'll praise the school just because. Ask as many people as you can and get the bigger picture. Ask people why they think the school is bad. Ask people why they think the school is great. Ask people who are in the middle. Just do as much research as you can. Don't just go based off the school's website, because the school isn't telling you the biggest picture. They're obviously going to promote themselves to why you should come here. And then you get there and it's like, this is whack. When I went to Monroe College in New Rochelle / the Bronx, I didn't do research. I just went off what the school told me. Then I get there and I find out they don't have a student gym. They don't have a student organization. The dorms, it wasn't really dorms. It was like an apartment building. You can only eat one meal a day. So 3 meals a day. One meal per lunch session. Like, you can only eat breakfast once. You can only eat lunch once. You can only eat dinner once. So if you swipe in at 8 a.m., you can't eat again until lunch at 12. So if you swipe in at 12 because you're hungry, you can't eat again until 6 o'clock when it's dinner time. So you have all those hours that you can't even go to the DFAC or the dining, whatever. DFAC is dining facility. We say that in the military, but in college, you'll usually say dining. But DFAC, dining, goes hand in hand, whatever. So there's just some things to think about. When I was at Buff State, you could swipe multiple times a day, which is a good and bad thing, because it's like, it's a good thing because you control when you can eat. At Monroe, they can kind of control when you eat. I mean, in the military, we eat the same way we ate at Monroe. So I was it got me used to it. But when I was at Buff State, I was able to swipe at 8 a.m. I was able to swipe at 10 a.m. I was able to swipe at 12 p.m. I was able to swipe at 3 p.m. I was able to swipe at 5 p.m. I was able to swipe at 8 p.m. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was able to swipe whenever I want. Like, yeah, you have a meal plan and it comes off of that. But if I'm hungry, it's like, I don't want to wait all day, especially as a freshman when you're not able to, cook. You don't have a dorm where you have a kitchen. You don't get that until maybe junior year. Sometimes sophomore year if you're lucky. But like freshman year, you're in those dorms. You can't have nothing. And then you have all those RAs. They coming for you. Like, they're gonna look at your rooms more times than not. If you have a cool RA, I always wanted to be an RA, but I never got selected. But if you have a cool RA, they're not gonna say much. But just know you're not allowed to have those things. You know what I'm saying? But for me personally, I would just say, if you're a junior right now or senior, just look at as many colleges as you can. Apply to, I know it's, if you can afford it. Everything I'm saying right now is if you can afford it. So look at all those colleges, look at everything. I believe if you're looking at if you're in New York State, or if you're looking to go to a New York State school or a city of New York school, New York State school is like a SUNY school, and that's a state university. Or if you're going to CUNY, which is a city, whatever. I don't remember the acronyms, but SUNY is like upstate. CUNY is New York City, I believe. But if you're looking at any of those schools, like if you're trying to come, if you don't live in New York and you're trying to come to a New York school, or if you're in New York and you're trying to go to a New York school, just look at SUNY and CUNY. They have a website where I believe you can apply to maybe 10 or more. I'm not exactly sure. It's been a while, but you can apply to multiple colleges on one application. And I think you only pay one fee. I'm sure other colleges have something similar, but that's just how I know how New York works. But don't be afraid to just apply to as many colleges as you can. Like, you don't have to, like, even if you get accepted, you don't got to take it. I know it may cost a lot because a lot of colleges do charge like a pretty penny for the application fee. Like, some of them charge like $50, some charge like $30, 50, like, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I didn't apply to a lot of colleges, because I'm like, I'm not paying. If you don't get accepted, you don't get your money back. So I'm like, no, I'm not paying. I'm just gonna do this CUNY system or SUNY system. And, you know, even though Monroe is not a SUNY or CUNY school, it was a private school. I don't remember how much their application fee was, but that's besides the point. Just apply to as many colleges as you can. The more you apply to, the better your chances are. The more research you do, the better your chances are. The more research you do, the more you'll have fun. You know, just look at everything, just everything. And I may be missing a lot of things. So if you're watching this video and you are in college and you're like a junior, senior in college, or you graduated college and you have better advice, just drop a comment below. Just, you know, suggest some things for these younger collegiate people. You know, if you play a sport, even if you're not getting recruited, it's not the end of your collegiate career. Do not let anyone tell you it's the end. Anyone. Don't let anyone tell you it's the end of your collegiate career just because you don't get a scholarship. I mean, just because you're not highly recruited. Not just because you don't get a scholarship. Just because you're not highly recruited and you're not getting offers out the book and you're not getting handwritten letters from Coach Cal and Coach K, your collegiate career is not over. You can walk on to even if you go to a Division I college, you can walk on. There's opportunities where you can walk on. They don't advertise it as much because they don't really care for walk-ons, but you can walk on. You can walk on to a Division II school. I know plenty of people that did that, and they ended up getting scholarships. I know people who you don't get scholarships in Division III, but it's an opportunity to play collegiate sports. And you could use that opportunity to transfer to a Division I college or Division II college. I know so many people who played at Buff State who ended up transferring to Division IIs and IIIs. When I was at Monroe, Monroe is a junior college. So even if you don't get NCAA D1 to D3, you could look at JUCO, junior college. Monroe College was a junior college. They have different divisions there. You can use those opportunities to transfer. When I was at Monroe College was a Division I junior college, meaning a lot of the Division I athletes who either like failed height and weight, failed grades, or didn't have the credits or like attitudes or was just looking for a better opportunity, they went from Division I to Division I junior college, or they went straight to Division I junior college and then Division I. Cam Newton, I believe he played at FSU under what's his name? What's that quarterback name? Tim Tebow. Cam Newton played under Tim Tebow at Florida State, went to junior college after, his little computer incident. He went to Texas, Blinn in Texas, junior college, and then went to Auburn, became the 2015 MVP. So your career isn't over just because you don't get D1 scholarships. And I want everyone to know that. They don't tell you that. They're not going to tell you that as much if you don't have a good coach. But you can, if you play video games, esports offer scholarships now. A lot of colleges offer esports scholarships. You can, if you're like, I know a lot of you guys are gamers now. Like gaming is, especially computer gaming, PC, it's a great thing. So don't let anyone tell you. Like, they started the e-gaming scholarship the year after I left. If they had that maybe a year or two prior, I would have had a scholarship. It is what it is, though, but those are just some things to look at. So now we get into when you actually do get to college. Like if you're a freshman right now, or you're about to become a freshman, you step foot on campus. Don't act like you know everything. I've seen a lot of freshmen that walk around acting like they know everything just because they did a lot of research. You don't know. Trust me, you don't know. You don't know anything. Just be receptive to what you can be receptive to. Like, I know a lot of organizations, they hold meetings. They hold student organization meetings. We held one every Tuesday. No, ours was Friday. So I backtrack. So colleges, I don't know if every college does this, but Buffalo State, most of my experiences is going to be from Buffalo State because as I said, I didn't do much in Monroe, and my grad school, I didn't do anything. I was just there for my degree. Now, didn't do anything. But Buffalo State, we have a thing called Bengal Pause. And it never clicked to me until after I graduated. It was called Bengal Pause because, Bengal Pause. And then it was like a pause because it was a stop in classes. Back then, they used to stop classes from 12 to like 1:30 or 11:30 to like 1:30. There was no classes because they wanted people to go to this event. So in the student union, you had every organization tabling. So it's a tabling event you're promoting your organization to like people, upcoming freshmen every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday and Thursday. Yeah. Tuesday, Thursdays, they had Bengal Pause. Stop classes. They would go to the union, eat food. You see all the organizations, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay. I didn't know we had all these people. But then towards like my junior, senior year, they kind of stopped Bengal Pause. Like, I mean, we still had it, but it wasn't really what it used to be. Anyways. So just look at all the organizations that they have. Just find what fits you. Attend every meeting that you can. It only takes like an hour out of your day. You're not going to have class 24 hours a day. You're not going to, you're a freshman, so you don't really have too many obligations. You're living on campus. Most of the time, most freshman dorms are close to the union, and they do that on purpose, so you don't have to walk far. But you're going to see a lot of them on campus. Most of us on campus, like we have merch. Not really merch, but it's like identifying clothing. So we had hoodies, shirts, wristbands, hats, whatever, jackets. Just find those people, ask them a bunch of questions. Just pick their brain as much as you can. And don't be afraid to, because this is the organization that you want to join. Like, you want to join their organization, so pick their brain. If they're not being receptive, that clearly shows what type of organization they are. If you see somebody, right, and they're in an organization, I'm going to use my organization, for example. If you see me walking on campus with my Amen hoodie on, which is African American Male Empowerment Network, if you see me walking with my hoodie on and you're like, hey, can I ask you a few questions about, your organization? And I'm giving you attitude like, bro, I don't got time for this. I got to go to class. I don't really feel like answering no questions right now. Or I'm like, well, what do you want to know? Like, I'm just giving you some sort of attitude. And you're like, I was just trying to ask a question because I wanted to join. And it's like, damn, now I just kind of low key just lost a prospect because of the way I was carrying myself, and that kind of reflects on my organization negatively. Even if it really doesn't, it does, because it's like, well, now they're like, well, I tried to speak to, they don't even know who you are, low key, unless they did a lot of research and they found out like, hey, that's the president. Okay, I'm gonna ask the president, and I'm like, I'm just pushing you off low key. And they're like, okay, well, I'm never joining their organization because their president is, acting like that. They acting wild funny. I'm gonna go to somebody else. And I want y'all to do that though. Like I want y'all to pick their brain. I want y'all to ask them a bunch of questions. Don't be afraid to. If they're not being receptive, that's not the organization for you. If they're being receptive and they're asking you a question, they give you information that you didn't even ask for because they know you may not know it, that may be the organization for you. I'm not saying that is, but that may be just off that one conversation. So now you're like, okay, I'm into this. I'm gonna go to some of the events. I'm gonna see some of the topics they talk about. I'm gonna see some of the events they hold. I'm gonna see some of the community services that they do. That holds a lot. And if that works with you, then boom, you could join that organization. See what their organization joining is like. I know most of the people at Buff State, all you had to do was you had to go to 3 events and you're a member. Now, getting on the executive board was a different story. You had to be there for a little minute. I started out, amen, as the public relations. So I used to just do the social media. Then I went to, then I became president. So, yeah, just so I was the one responding to everyone who was messaging us on the Instagram, you know? So a lot of the members that we got, I was speaking to them. They didn't even know who I was, but I was speaking to them. Then I became president and they seen me. So, excuse me. So just do that. Just pick their brain as much as you can. Don't be afraid. You know, just don't be afraid to pick their brain, you know? And then, like I said before, it's not just you getting a degree, it's what you do. So join as many organizations as you can. It's no limit to how many you can join. At least not that I'm aware of. I don't know if different schools have different rules or different orgs have different rules, but from my knowledge, there's no limit on any orgs. I was the president of African American Male Empowerment Network. I was the president and founder of the Athletic Training Student Association. I was the production manager on Buffalo State College TV, BSC TV. I was a peer educator at Weigel Health Promotions. I was the social media manager for the men's basketball team. And I just did so much things. And all of those things you can put on your resume. That's another thing they don't tell you. You can put all of those things on your resume. Just word it good, you know. Don't just say, hey, I did this, that. But all of those count as community service events as well. Like almost everything you do can count as community service. My senior year, around April, they had an award show. And I was awarded, 6 awards? One was for community service for 1,000 hours. One was for community service for something different. Another one was like being the peer educator of the semester. Another one was being an upstanding citizen, just because that award was awarded because I was helping so many people. I was helping so many people, you know? So just don't be afraid. Just join as much as you can. Do as much research as you can. You know, don't be afraid to join organizations. It's only going to benefit you. But again, it's what you can handle. Don't put too much on yourself. Like I said, I was doing all of that towards my senior year. I kind of put too much on myself. And I was doing my internship. So I don't know how to word this. Don't put too much on yourself. That's all I gotta say. Just don't put too much on yourself. Just don't, you know, overwork yourself. If you want to join 5 organizations, but you got hard classes like anatomy, physiology, engineering, you have a hard major, don't do it. Just focus on your grades. Join maybe 1 organization, 2 if you can handle it. Because joining an organization is an obligation. It's not an obligation, but it's a commitment. You're not obligated to do anything. but it's a commitment. You committed yourself to this organization. They're expecting you to be committed. It's not gonna negatively affect you after college, but it can positively affect you during college and after college. I've had opportunities not given. I've had opportunities that I worked for that were awarded to me because, let me rephrase that. I had opportunities that I worked for, right? And it gave me an extra push because the manager or the person in charge used to be a member of my organization back when they was in college. And they're like, "Oh, you was a member of this org? I was a member of this org." Okay, boom. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it's a good thing. I'm not saying I'm not qualified or you weren't qualified and you're just gonna get it because you were a member. But no, it's gonna give you an extra push. Whether you like it or not, it's gonna give you an extra push. Whether you join a student organization, a fraternity or sorority, or like just anything, if you're a part of something and you have somebody who was a part of that or is a part of that, it's gonna give you a boost, whether you like it or not. It's just life. So why not join this student organization? You know, why not give yourself an extra push? Why not? Like, I want to know, like, what what's stopping you from joining if it's not classes? Because that's really the only thing. Or if you're not living on campus. Because sometimes like when I first got to Buffalo State, I didn't live on campus for like the first 2-3 weeks because remember I said 2 million students. That was reality. Buffalo State accepted about 2 million freshmen, 2 million transfers, whatever. And we didn't have enough rooms. They accepted more people than rooms that they had. Some people had to live off campus for a while. I unfortunately had to live off campus for a while. I lived maybe the next college over's campus for 2 to 3 weeks. And I mean, it wasn't bad, but yeah, so those are some of the things that, or like I said, if you go to a local college and you don't live on campus, you may not want to join organizations because you're not there every day. Those are just some things to think about when you're looking at colleges. So if you want to go to local college and you want to live at home, you may not be on campus as much, or you may not want to travel to campus as much. When I moved off campus, it was so hard for me to continue my organization because I didn't feel like traveling to campus every day. Like, I lived maybe 15, 20 minutes away by car, and I wasn't driving at the time. I didn't start driving until maybe like a couple months after. So like those first few months, I was taking the shuttle bus that my apartment, provided to get to campus. And I just didn't feel like waiting for that. I didn't feel like driving when I did get it. It was hard. So those are some things to think about when you're choosing colleges, because there's some colleges that don't even have dorms. Like one of the colleges I was looking at, like when I finally started looking, I really wanted to go there. But then I found out they don't have dorms and you had to rent apartments. And I was like, whoa, what? That's stupid. I'm not going here. So those are just some things to think about. Those are the things that I thought about right now. I just wanted to share. Join organizations. Please look at colleges. Look at all your options. Apply to a lot of colleges. Join student organizations. If you want to go to the military, join ROTC. You know what I'm saying? Just do something to cement your future. Don't just go to college and eat all day, party all day, and then get your degree and expect, you to get this 10-figure job just because you have a degree. They're not looking at just a degree. They're looking at what you did while you were there. And it's not the end of the world if you don't do those things. It's not the end of the world if you don't choose your preferred college. It's not the end of the world if you don't get your preferred major. It's not the end of the world if you switch majors. I switched majors. I was a computer science major. Then I switched to health, you know, and not switched to, what was I? I was computer science. Then I did criminal justice for like a week. I ain't like it. And I switched to health. And that's what I graduated with. That's what I went on to get my grad school degree in. So it's not the end of the world for switching. I didn't switch to a health major until my junior year. So it's not the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? Just be focused, be goal driven, be receptive to information, and just make a name. Make a name for yourself, for your organization, for your family, for whoever you're doing it for, or whatever you're doing it for. Just always remember your why as to why you're in college, or why as to, even if you didn't go to college, just remember your why as to why you're here. You're in trade school. Why'd you go to trade school? Once you figure that out, just stick to it. Just stick to it every day. Write it down. Don't lose hope. Don't lose sight of what your future beholds, you know? But with that being said, congratulations to everybody who's graduating, you know? And if you're not graduating, it's not the end of the world, you know? Yeah, it may suck because you're not graduating with the people that you thought you were with graduating with, or it sucks because you're not graduating the year you thought you were graduating. But at the end of the day, the year you graduated really doesn't matter. It's about the fact that you took that sacrifice and you got your degree, and we all are happy for you. Everyone who joined that journey with you, or who supported that journey with you, is happy that you even finished. A lot of people don't finish. A lot of people don't even attempt it. But you finished, or you're finishing. And that's something to be happy about, you know? But until next time, it's been your boy Austin J, aka AJ. And we out.